Hey, it's the Biz Grow Pro, Rich. I'm here. We're live. I know I said I was going to go live at 9 on Mondays for some Monday motivation, and I'm way too busy to keep that schedule, so we're going to have to figure out how to customize it. Feel free to comment and tell us when you think a better time to go live would be. But we want to hear from you, most definitely. All right, we are up with the chat, and we've got, okay, good, we're live. So we're good. What I want to talk about today is something that, came on my heart to share with you as a result of Easter. It's a holiday celebrated by most nations having their history in the Christian tradition. Being a Christian myself, not really worried about what you are because labels don't mean anything. Your character and, the quality of life and the way you impact others is what matters most. But when we think about God, and we think about faith, oftentimes it's a ritual, right? Oftentimes it's this thing we do on Sundays, and it's this label that we put on ourselves, but do we live it? Do we practice it? Is it exemplary in the way we conduct ourselves? And I doubt that there is anyone out there in social media world or YouTube land or whatever it's called that can say that they bat 1,000. Nobody bats 1,000. Nobody always gets it right. But I think the greatest lesson that any of us can take away coming off of Easter weekend is the fact that we are created in the image of God. Every faith believes that. Every religion states that. And we need to realize that God, when he refers to himself, which he doesn't refer to himself much in the Bible, he refers to himself as I am. I am. Well, what does that mean? It means that I am. It's this freedom from labels and this freedom from things that can negatively or positively, if we exercise them, impact our reality. But what if we set out to positively impact our own reality, and we took the labels and we balled them up and we threw them away? Would you be any more or less of a woman or a man if you put fewer labels on yourself? One thing entrepreneurs know, successful entrepreneurs, successful business leaders know, is the value of time. There is so much power in simply taking back your time. I don't know if I got through to you. There is so much power in realizing that every minute of your day is either serving the purpose of you accomplishing your goals, or it's working against you. It's encumbering you. It's slowing you down. It's feeding into distraction. It's feeding into negativity. Or the only positive distraction is hugging your grandson, right? You got to know where emotion belongs. I recently had somebody on my staff say I let them down. And when I dug into how they felt like I let them down, effectively, they were communicating an expectation that I do for them what one would expect an adult to do for themselves. You have a job, you should know when you are or are not on the schedule. That should not be something you forget because you were working on something else. You have to take control of your life. They were upset that they get less hours now than they used to, yet they proved totally unreliable on marketing, on outreach, things that, because I saw a lot in that person, I trusted them with. So me giving someone else those hours isn't personal. It's not about that person at all. It's about getting the job done. It's about giving the time that I need to turn into dollars and cents to someone who is going to help drive that, right? Every employer in the world pays you to drive productivity. If you are not driving productivity, you become a liability. Those are expensive. I can't afford them. I don't know many entrepreneurs that can. I don't know many people that can. Think about it in your personal life. You are throwing an event. You want to become an event planner. You're throwing an event. Someone is supposed to help you put labels on postcards. Every time you check in on them, the postcards aren't done. They've been at it for 4 hours. You've already paid them for those 4 hours. Did you give your money away? Now you're thinking like a business owner. What happened with the dollars that I invested in you to get a task done? Were they wasted? But, I mean, I would love to hear from you guys out there, you ladies out there, you guys. Like, what do you think? Is this far-fetched? People call my mentor shrewd because you will never successfully waste his time. You might waste 5 minutes and, good luck with that. You're not likely to get another phone call answered because you're marked. You're the scarlet letter now, the big W, waste. That is time wasted. In this economy, with the realities of financial stress, financial burden, nobody can afford to waste time. Now, what you're going to realize is, as you begin to actually work towards your goals, I got a string hanging. Who cares? As you begin working towards your goals, you're going to notice just how little time there is in a day. Then, I'm hoping you notice that they're actually 24 hours. All right? Now, on my Instagram, at TheBizGrowPro, on my Instagram, there's a chart, if you go down about 10 or 12 posts, called Team Go Hard Time Management, right? Now, the time management chart breaks it down the way I do it, the way I try to do it. I typically get, as you see, I typically get about 4 hours sleep. I try to get 6. If I get 6, I feel like a king when I wake up. And then I go hard. Every minute of every day, if I'm driving, right, there's nothing more amazing than Bluetooth Car Connect, right? I can make a phone call from a red light without reaching in my pocket for my phone. It's amazing, right? But every minute of your day, should be serving the purpose of moving your goals forward. I referenced the book last week, and I'm going to reference it again, but hopefully you've all picked it up by now. It's Start With Why by Simon Sinek. The driving point is of the entire book. So I might save you $15, but you should read it for yourself. So go spend it anyway. The driving point is every minute of every day you should be doing one thing very well that will get you one step closer to your goal. Okay? So your goal might seem far-fetched. This is your dream. This is something you have wanted to do your entire life. And the doubt in you, the fear in you, it's telling you that you can't do it. You actually have begun believing that crap. And now you're not even making moves to make this dream and this goal happen. Now, if your life is in a shambles, it might be hard. But I have seen people in the middle of true turmoil stand up and step up and still fight for what their dream scenario is. I admire that. Might not make a lot of sense to me. Might not make a lot of sense to you. But it doesn't matter. It's not my life. It's not my journey. Right? They have to go through what they have to go through to become who they're supposed to be. So do you. You have to take every moment and fill it with activity that is moving you forward. Or love. Mentorship is a form of love. That is someone who has already accomplished at least once or twice, already accomplished what you're setting out to do. That's important. When you seek a mentor, you are seeking somebody to show you love, to love on you, to help you on some Lord of the Rings type, epic type journey stuff. Like, for real. And there will be all manner of evil coming at you if your heart and mind are in the right place. If you're doing it to fulfill a need, you see a gap in the marketplace, a need that's not being met by any product or service, yo, that's gold. That is where millions of dollars are made. And now, in 2018, you have a new reality, right? And that reality is that the internet has made the world accessible to you. So before, you may have said, well, I think it's a good idea. I've been doing research and, my target market is in Australia. FedEx, UPS, get it, done. You can market to Australia from your sofa. Yeah. No excuses, baby. None. All right? You can't afford them. I can't afford them. Everything I want to do, everything I've ever wanted to do in life, it still burns inside me. Now, some of the mistakes that I have made as a young man seem to be insurmountable barriers sometimes, right? But there's no such thing as an insurmountable barrier. You were created in the image of the Creator. So that means that there is this massive amount of power in you to do and to accomplish whatever you put your mind on. Over the course of the next week, right, this is your homework, and I'm going to reiterate this at the end. Over the course of the next week, I want you to make a note. Every morning when you wake up, you will give no time. No time. If you have to be cold, be cold. If you have to be stoic, shrewd, if people think you're being mean, you don't have to be mean. You can be nice about it. But be clear. The next week, every day, you need to spend 12 hours working towards your goal. 12 hours. That's the minimum. That's your homework. I want you to write down what you want to accomplish in the next week and realize that I just told you, right, that you're supposed to spend 84 hours on it between now and the next Monday motivation that we do together. So write down. Did you pick up a pen yet? Write down what you want to have accomplished by next Monday night. All right? If it's a phone call you need to make, if there are meetings you need to schedule, if there are people you need to see, if you need to get your website content perfected, if it's too deep, if it's too simple, if it does not drive home clearly and succinctly what you are all about, what you are trying to communicate, redo it. Get it done. Don't sleep that night. Overdose on coffee. I don't care. You only need 4 to 6 hours of sleep a night to operate. Trust me, I'm being 100% real with you right now. Stop buying into what society tells you. You need 8 hours of sleep. You're going to sleep away a third of your day? What's wrong with you? Can you afford that? Is there a Bentley parked in front of your house? Do you have a doorman, a butler, secretaries, aides, researchers, a team of lawyers, and an accounting firm that only works for you? No? Do you make $100,000 a day, whether you go to work or not? No? Then you can't afford, baby, no. You can't afford 8 hours of sleep. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's not in your budget. Okay? What you can afford is what your budget tells you you can afford. How much are you trying to earn in the next year? All right? I will create a calculator for you. I'll post that on Twitter. All right? I'll post that within an hour after we finish this recording. How about that? How to calculate how much every hour of your day is worth. Yeah. Every hour of your day. Noting that you're going to waste 6 of it sleeping. You wake up, you eat. I eat some oatmeal, put some raisins in it, and I go. All right? Grab a banana or an apple in the day, and I go. I try to drink at least a half gallon of water a day, at least. And I run. Right? Now, how do I balance out all this go hard that I'm talking to you about? I balance it out with phone calls to family. It's always good to hear the voice of somebody you love for 15 minutes. I stare at pictures of my grandson usually when I start to feel like I'm getting up to here. My day is getting stressful. Oh, wait, why am I doing this? AJ. Okay, let's go. Because his father, his mother, his grandfather, everybody that loves that young man needs to be ready to write a check when it's time for him to go to college. Period. So I gotta go hard, baby. You feel me? If he decides not to go to college, cool. We'll give him the money. But let's understand, legacy ain't some cute shit to talk about. It's not just a Jay-Z song. Peace, Jay. But come on. It's all about life application. How many of you know people who go to church, but if you were to look at their life, their pursuit of their goals or the lack of pursuit of goals, right? The way they treat people, the way they treat themselves, how happy they are, how much joy do they have? Now, you may not see that if you know them at work, because at work they may be stressed out. But Jesus cursed the fig tree that didn't bear fruit. Shiny leaves and no fruit. And the fig tree, understand it, the fig tree parable isn't about the fig tree bearing fruit for it to eat. The figs are for others. What's that teach us? What are we doing for others? How are we positively impacting others, the lives of others? This is, yo, like, a great example. One of the coolest fig trees I know is my mom. My father and I laugh all the time because if that woman wanted to be a billionaire, she would be one by now. But you know where her heart and her energy and her passion and her time go? To serving others. She saw a need in the lives of two really cool, amazing young people. And she took custody of those two young people. You know, so I got a little brother and sister now. You know what I mean? Why? Because my mom's heart is the size of Africa, the continent, okay? Her heart is like huge. She's like a heart with eyeballs and arms and legs. I swear to God, my mom, I don't get it, but I do get it. You know, we can talk about God and we can beat people with the Bible all day, and that won't win them to Christ. But are we examples of love? Are we examples of hard work? Are we examples of good character? Nothing that comes easy is appreciated. Nothing that comes easy is sustainable. It's just not. Gotta work for it. So, all right, I'm gonna jump off. We don't have any comments. Cool. But your homework is 12 hours a day for the next 7 days, which is 84 hours. You're going to dedicate 84 hours this week to your goal. All right. Next week, you know, we're going to figure out a time. It'll be all over Twitter and you know, my social media, so you'll know what time we're doing Monday Motivation from now on. But next week, I want comments. I want to hear from you how you used your 84 hours, what you set out to do, and what steps you took to move closer to it, to make it a reality. All right? Because I could get on here and talk for 30 minutes every week, and that's worthless if I'm not positively impacting your life. So I'm going to positively impact the hell out of you. You got homework, get on it. Book, Start With Why by Simon Sinek. Read it. But that's in your spare time, boo. Do not make that part of what you're doing to get closer to your goal. Okay? Write down the goal. And from the goal to where you are, I want you to backwards map out all the steps that you need to take to make it a reality. All right? It's your homework. I'm the BizGrow Pro, and we're going to talk soon. All right? Hit me on Twitter at the BizGrow Pro anytime you want, and I'm looking forward to it. Be well.